So you're Dak Prescott. You're looking internally. You're looking externally. You're seeing everybody maximize their market value. And then Jerry Jones wants to come to you and say, not when it comes to you. Not when it comes to the quarterback, linebackers, offensive linemen, running backs, wide receivers. We'll take care of everybody else. We'll watch other teams take care of their quarterback. But we won't do it for you. Why? Nobody has asked Jerry Jones this one question. Why Dak Prescott? Because I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,001. If this were Tony Romo, does anybody doubt that a deal would have been done already? Anybody. You can't find anybody that would sit up there and say, nah, it would be the same for Tony Romo. It would not. And as much as I love Tony Romo, who's an exceptional analyst and what have you, and damn good quarterback, by the way, when he was a member of the Dallas Cowboys, he has 2 playoff victories on his entire resume. That's it. That's it. But he would have been taken. But he would have been. Well, there's one more. But Dak Prescott only been there for 4 years. That brother was there for 9 or 10. The bottom line is, if you would have done it for Tony Romo, why not Dak Prescott? And that's what I love about these demands that Dak Prescott is making. Because what it's doing is it's going to get Jerry Jones out of hiding. And somewhere along the way, he's going to get in front of those cameras. And somebody is going to ask this man the question, why Dak? Why him? And that is the question that we need Jerry Jones in front of the camera answering. Why Dak Prescott? And that's why I love the fact that Dak Prescott is doing this, because he's forcing Jerry's hand, and Jerry's going to have to speak and justify why he's doing this with Dak Prescott all these years, not just now.
So the question is Dak overplaying his hand? And Max, you think so. Stephen A., obviously you don't think so. But I don't think this is a topic that we need to argue about, fellas. The bottom line is, and Max, you're wrong. He's not overplaying his hand. Because if I was your friend and you were going to a poker tournament and I saw you had pocket aces before they pulled out the draw, I'm saying, Max, stand firm, hold tight. We have as good of a chance to win this particular hand or this particular game as much as anybody else on this table, including the house. That is where Dak Prescott sits right now. Regardless of if Dallas says, okay, forget it, we're not giving you a contract. It'll be 20-something odd teams that will. It'll be teams in desperation to get Dak Prescott in case the Dallas Cowboys are ready to let him walk or play this franchise tag for 1 year for $37 million, which is not that far away from 40. And no, I'm not saying Dak Prescott is worth 40. Dak Prescott is worth whatever somebody's going to pay him the highest amount of dollars to play the quarterback position. That may not be the Dallas Cowboys. And everyone has to be okay with that, because it seems like Dak Prescott and his agent Todd France and his brother Tad Prescott are perfectly fine with playing under this franchise tag and then moving on to see where the money resides. That's what the issue is. So yes, he's not overplaying his hand, because like we talked about leverage, Dak Prescott has a tremendous amount of leverage. And in the NFL, and you both have heard me say this time after time, hold on, Max. In the NFL, when it comes to players, just like in the NBA or the major leagues or any other professional league, your leverage is created by how good you are and how bad that team is without you. And we all know that the Dallas Cowboys have nowhere to turn to have a successful season if Dak Prescott is not their quarterback. Unless you saying I'm getting Russell Wilson or I'm going to go get Deshaun Watson. You are just laying in the weeds.
This is what I'm talking about, Marcus.
Success. Go ahead.
This is what I want to say. First of all, Stephen A., keep banging that drum. I think it's an important drum to bang, and people need to hear it. So I'm with you on that sentiment. But specifically, whether or not, you like it or we like it that he's doing this to Jerry and putting him front and center and making him answer, is he overplaying his hand? Now, what gave Dak more leverage? What gave him more leverage, because these things are constantly changing, was they stunk without him, and Andy Dalton looked like a pretty good backup. They couldn't do anything. So Dak said, no, I got real value. Oh, it's not just the offensive line or the weapons. A lot of this has to do with me. That gave him real leverage. And the other thing is the NFC East is terrible with no quarterbacks. So they have a real chance to host playoff games for the foreseeable future if they get Dak. There's Dak's leverage. What's the Cowboys' leverage? Because things have changed again. Russell Wilson put the Cowboys on his list, and it was a short list of teams that he would accept a trade to. Deshaun Watson is also he'd like to be traded, but Russell Wilson in particular comes with not such a heavy price tag and probably cheaper to get than Deshaun in terms of what you have to trade. Well, that swings things a little bit. So you know what that means for Dak, guys? That means in terms of not overplaying his hand, will he get $40 million plus from another team? Maybe, but you know what that's going to take? It's going to take a team with the cap flexibility, right? They're going to have the room. Usually those teams aren't ready to win. But why would you sign Dak if you're not ready to win? It's going to be a quarterback-needy team that needs a good quarterback to put him over the top. There aren't that many teams like that.
See, when you prioritize being an intellectual and showing the world how much you know, sometimes you miss something. And here's where you miss something when it comes to Dak Prescott. Who's to say he's asking for the $40 million from everybody? It might just be for Jerry because he has an issue with Jerry. Whereas if he went somewhere else, he might be willing to accept the $37 million, the $35 million, the $38 million.
Possible.
It doesn't matter. It's the fact that that man has treated him in such a way. If you got a boss, Max, that treated you great, you might give him a discount. But if you felt he treated you disrespectfully, your demands on him might be stiffer. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.